Welcome to Win the Sulky. Bob Hayden joined by Natalie Rasmussen. Now, if you don't know that name, we're going to right away find out, Natalie, where are you from and how long you staying here?
I'm from New Zealand now, originally Australia, but I'm at New Zealand at the moment, and Mark and I are just here on holiday for a month.
Okay, that's Mark Perdon, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and now you're here for a while. You're going to be watching big races. What else are you going to be doing while you're here?
Oh no, we spent a few days in New York first. I just had a look around, a bit too busy for us. But no, just from now on, we're just going to head out of town a little bit further and go and visit a lot of the farms and have a good look around and see as many race meetings as we can.
Okay, and now for those people who are unfamiliar, you are trainer and driver in New Zealand and Australia.
That's correct, yes. Mark and I are training partners in New Zealand. We train anywhere up to, say, between 50 and 80 horses. Yeah, I race drive as well, so now we've got a very big operation going on.
Okay, let's take a look. We're going to go take a look at the Inter-Dominion, the Blacks of Fake Inter-Dominion that you won. You've won this 4 times, is that true?
That's correct, yes.
4 times. This is incredible to me. This is the biggest race, right? The biggest race down under, right?
That's right, yeah, no, it's a great race.
Okay, Blacks of Fake, take us through this race here. Where are you at this point?
He was 3 wide out without cover. He's a very tough horse. This was a race over 2,400 metres. I think they rated a 153 mile rate over the 2,400, and he was 3 deep on his own, possibly for the last 1,000 metres. So it was a great run, and in a record time at the time.
Wow, this is incredible. And for those people who don't know Blacks of Fake, look in your trotting and pacing guide because his name is among the top earners of all time. Over $3.5 million. He raced from 2003 to 2011. Yes. He's a son of Fake Left, who won the jug here over Western Hanover. How's that? And how long did you race him, and what kind of horse was he for you?
Oh, look, he was a great horse for me. I had him his whole career. My sister broke him in, and I had him his whole career. And yeah, he raced right through till he was 11, like 10. I did retire him when he just got a few aches and pains. But he won that Inter-Dominion that you just saw then when he was a 9-year-old.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, tell us about the Inter-Dominion. I think last year, did they go for over $1 million, I believe?
It does. It does vary depending where it's run at. Blacks of Fake, he won one of them worth $1.5 million. Then other years it gets down to $800,000 and thereabouts.
Okay, now this past year, 4-Star Shark was the winning sire of the race. I mention that because a lot of the North American sires, I believe they had the first 8 or 9 spots, are prominent on the New Zealand and even on Australian programs. Tell us why that is.
Why? Look, I think because, just the sheer speed and the style of the racehorses here coming over home, it does mix with our mares very well, and I just think they've just been very dominant. It's brought a whole new level to our racing. And
we've had the dual hemisphere stallions like Better's Delight and Mr. Big and Art Major's done so that do work in both, right? So it's not unusual to see Better's Delight's name throughout the card.
Oh, definitely not. No, we're very big fans of Better's Delight. We buy a lot of his young yearlings and we do love them.
What about attempting to drive here? What about your opera? I mean, you're doing very well down where you are. Why would you want to leave? But has there been any thought about you ever relocating or even trying it here?
Look, Mark and I are here having a very good look around. There's a lot to weigh up. At the moment, we're probably the top of the tree over there. So it's a big call to say you're going to uproot and move everything. But in saying that, though, we'd like to have a really good look, weigh up all the pros and cons, and just have a good look.
Now, catch drivers are very, very prominent in North America, especially here. They dominate. As a matter of fact, the 6 feature races at Mohawk this past Saturday were won by 6 Meadowlands nightly regulars. They won all the features at Mohawk. They regularly dominate the big circuit. What about catch driving in New Zealand and Australia? How prevalent is it?
Look, there are a few catch drivers that do very well, predominantly Dexter Dunn in New Zealand. He's one of the best. In Melbourne, you've got quite a few as well, Melbourne, which is in Australia. But look, Mark and I, we stick to driving our own. We know our horses and we both drive okay. So, yeah, but there definitely is an avenue for it there.
Well, we have a lot of successful down under trainers and drivers here, mostly trainers. Names like Ross Krogan, Mark Harder, Kelvin Harrison, Chris Ryder, Noel Daly's in tonight, even Paul Jessup's on the card tonight. Why is it, in your opinion, that the trainers and the horsemen that come from New Zealand seem to come here ready to go?
Look, I just think Australia and New Zealand, I'm not saying it's not hard here, but I just know how hard you have to work. It's a really hard slog, and you're born with a great work ethic, and if you want to achieve over there, you have to work. There's nothing given. So I think all of those guys, I bet you they've all got a great work ethic, and they are out there day in, day out, rain, hail, shine. doing the hard yards, and they probably know their horses inside out.
And they probably train a lot of times before they drive too, I would think, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Now Bruce Birch tried it here in 1999. He actually set a world record here. Whatever happened to Bruce Birch?
Bruce is currently at Menangle. He was at the Gold Coast when I lived in Brisbane. He was up there, and I knew Bruce quite well. But now he's currently at Menangle, and I'm not quite sure what he's actually up to at the moment.
Now I know that you had a recent at the Jewel meeting. You were 5 for 9, I believe, in New Zealand. What is the Jewel meeting?
The Jules meeting is a accumulation of all the horses throughout New Zealand, the top 10 stake earners, or top 12 it could be, stake earners, and then they're automatically invited into a race at the end of the season, all 1 mile racing, 2-year-old fillies, 2-year-old colts, each category. And then also your trotters. So it's a wonderful concept. There's no pay-up fees or anything, and it's just a chance for some of these people to maybe get a Group 1 winner and they've never had one, or get a runner in a Group 1 race.
You know, for those people who think you're going slower miles down under, consider this: Adore Me 147 and 7, and Have Faith in Me 147 and 6. That's pretty good high step in there. Tell us about those 2 horses.
Oh, look, they're both great horses. Adore Me, when she went 147 and 7, it was in a Ladyship Mile at Menangle on a 1,400 metre track, so it's a good track. But she started from 10 on the arm, so outside the barrier. She was 3 wide early, around to sit parked. She was never closer than 1 out the whole way, and she just bolted in, you know. She was a great mare. She broke down her next start, which was unfortunate, but she was a Bettor's Delight mare, so she's in foal now. And Have Faith in Me, he won as a 4-year-old this year. He won the Miracle Mile, and he was sat second to last. And then he went 47 and 6. He's a great horse.
We don't have as many female drivers here. A lot of top female trainers, but not as many drivers. How prevalent are female drivers in New Zealand and Australia?
Look, in New Zealand, there wasn't so many. There's a couple. Probably when I went to New Zealand and joined up forces with Mark, I was probably one of the first ones to actually compete in a lot of the major races there. But, you know, there's a lot more coming through now. And in Australia, though, very, very, very busy. I would say in every state, you would find in your top 10 drivers, there'd be at least three or four women drivers.
The first horse who ever made $1 million was Cardigan Bay from Down Under. Young Quinn was the first 55 winner here. Lyell Creek did well, winning the Sumac Lad. But we don't see a lot of great horses going from there to here, or even from here to there. Why is that?
Well, look, I just think the travel, people don't want to risk that asset. You know, if you've got a horse and he's the top of the tree at home, why risk him and travel all that way? You know, things can happen on a long trip. I know ourselves would be very hesitant to maybe take one of our best horses, age horses, and bring him here, then take him back home and race. I think your sire stakes racing and all your series racing is such good money. Why would you risk to take them and not come back as good?
And you have a seasonal difference too, right? You not only have the expense, you have the long flight, and you have so a horse comes here, he doesn't know if it's winter or summer, right?
Exactly, that's right. No, I think it would be very hard. Between Australia and New Zealand, you know, we find it easy because it's the same season really, a bit colder in New Zealand, but yeah, it's only a 3-hour flight, 3.5-hour flight, very easy to just up and move and do that, but not all the way here.
Well, Natalie, one of the most accomplished drivers, male or female, down under, we're so happy to have you here. Enjoy your stay, go see all the farms, go see everybody, don't let anything, especially come here. Big races this next couple weeks for sure. And look forward, enjoy your trip, and we look forward to watching some of your races, maybe some victories on the simulcast.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for having us.
Okay, thanks,
you.
Natalie.
Thank you.